Hi, everyone. This is Amy Joy, positive psychologist. So I'm coming at you. I just realized I did the entire video and had not pressed the record button. So I'm going to do it all over again. Uh, so um, Coming at you from the day after we had gone live with the relaunch of the podcast slash YouTube channel. And my daughter said something really interesting to me last night when we were done. And she mentioned the backdrop behind me, or the background, if you will, the display going on here. And she's like, "You're giving me grandma vibes." And I was like, "Okay, well, they're old enough. My kids are old enough now to give me grandkids, so I'm kind of in that mode anyway." But that is not why I have the display the way that I do. So there's a story behind this. For those of you who know me really well, that I live with something called DID, which is dissociative identity disorder. It used to be called multiple personality disorder. But multiple personality disorder really gave it a unidimensional, one-sided view of what this really is. People who live with DID often have experienced severe or long-term trauma during childhood, usually before the age of 8 or 9, right? So that the brain is developing, usually in that very imaginative, creative stage of life. And when severe trauma is occurring, the brain has an amazing capacity to protect the person from the present conditions. So it just stores all of that trauma away in the brain, what we call the implicit part of the brain. So it's just really buried. It's buried in sort of, this emotional center that keeps all of those things until the person is in a safe enough place for these parts or alters, if you will, to start emerging and really showing themselves. So we would equate this really to like combat veterans coming back with PTSD and flashbacks and things. And oftentimes those things happen when the environment triggers us into a PTSD re-experiencing. Um, and people may not even know why. They might not know why their body hurts at a certain period of the day, or why it hurts where it does, or why they're feeling these great emotions during, certain things, or when they're around certain people. Things tend to happen internally. So DID is basically all of those trauma pieces, those compartments are stored in a way where they have sort of secured in their own little bubble the personality characteristics and ages and all the things that were happening at the time, and sort of just stuffed it away in this little box or bubble, if you will. And later on kind of comes out and says, "Boop, here I am." So my therapist and I have been working on all of these different parts. And of course, she's been working with the parts as well. She knows them, I think, way more than I do. She's trying to get me to be very compassionate and I'm, I'm trying, but it's very, very difficult. I find myself very compassionate with others, very empathetic with others, but it's very difficult to be that with myself and with my parts. So, that being said, what happened with the display behind me is that it's very personal. So I wrote this book, Him, Me, and V, and it came out about a year ago. It's very personal. It's basically my autobiography from 0 to 13 years old, and it also goes through really the dynamics of the relationship between the parts and my therapist as well. So what happened was, I think it's been a couple of years now or something, but this picture behind me, so I painted this. I'm also an oil painter, so those might come up here and there in videos. But I painted this, and it says "Dear Little Ones" on the notebook here. A couple years ago, one of our littles decided that they saw this little angel, this little gray angel here, and decided that this was going to be a Christmas present for our therapist. So bought 2 of them, one for the littles and one for our therapist. And not too long after Christmas, had gone into her office and found that her little angel was missing a head, and it had been broken. So I kind of, you know, recognized that there was some internal upheaval and emotional distress. So I snuck in some super glue and stuck its head back on. And our therapist noticed that something was going on. So eventually it came out that, we were very upset about this broken angel. It was very personal, and we thought we were very attached to what we were, giving to our therapist. So what happened was she took it home and later sent me this picture of the angel on her table with her cup of coffee and a candle. And it was so heartwarming and so validating that, turned it into a painting. And so it being up here is a constant reminder of who we are, the relationships that we have, where we've come from, where we're going, where we are now. And some days I still wake up and things are difficult. Today was kind of one of those days. I just, we kind of had a high moment last night with the YouTube live, and everything was fun. It was super fun. We had some friends here, and it was a lot of fun. And I woke up this morning, oh God, why can't I get a regular job? Why can't I just be a regular person? Right. So it's really challenging to have all of these thoughts and all of these emotions. And I know a lot of them aren't necessarily owned by me, this person who's represented here, but this display behind me is very important for that very reason. And every time we get on here and that's behind us, it's a good reminder of we're not stuck there anymore. We're not stuck in childhood trauma anymore, and we're doing good things for others. And I think the whole point of this YouTube and the whole point of the public speaking and all of the training that I do on childhood trauma is we really want to instill some hope and inspire others who are like us that it's possible to have a life after all the crap in the beginning. It's possible to earn higher degrees. It's possible to raise healthy children. It's possible to have healthy friendships and relationships and build boundaries. And it takes a whole lot more work to do that from a very traumatic and damaged past than it does from someone who's been raised in a very loving home. So kudos to you who have come through all the crud at the beginning and made something beautiful come out in the middle and the end. So, well, there's my phone. So I'll be signing off now. I hope you all have an amazing day. Bye-bye.